for a very special trial game of the tabletop RPG on Roll20, Cyberpunk Red. I'm your GM, Hazer Taicho, and I have three of my most trusted role player buddies with me tonight. We're going to introduce them, and we're going to go over some quick admin stuff on the character sheets, and then we're going to jump into a brief Night City.
He just crashed.
Oh my god, no way.
I heard him stop mid-sentence during the intro, and I was like, damn, it really gonna be like that, isn't it?
No fucking way.
My most trusted role-playing buddies. We're gonna get into some quick admin character sheet stuff, and then something about Night City.
It sounded like he was like doing something, so we had to take a little quick pause. I think he
Yeah,
crashed until I saw him leave roll 20.
I heard my phone do the freaking water reminder, and I was like, did that catch him off guard? And I was like, nope, it was too long. He died.
No, he died.
I was about to say, it'd be really funny if he died right before I said that.
Oh,
Was going to. Man, I almost had it timed. I think that's probably a good.
Angry.
I think. Oh, I'm just gonna. Oh,
I am so angry.
That you crashed already.
that was
The
perfect.
Netrunners fucking found me. Brick admin, because we're all D&D players and Deathwatch players. Some quick Night City, brief intro to Cyberpunk, and then we'll get started on this adventure. Any questions?
A little late for that, but it still works.
DM, but I probably should ask. What are you drinking
Yes.
today?
I am drinking straight water. I have nothing but alcohol in my house, and I've been kind of stuck here. We'll maybe touch on that later, or we won't. So I'm drinking straight water so that you guys have piss breaks. Let's introduce ourselves. First off, who's top of the El Commador?
I am the El Commador, also known as Walden 4. I'm a little tech guy, doing tech things, and don't Google El Commodore Spanish and English. It's not great.
That's fine. We have Peegefo Elad.
Peegefo. Peegefo is a med tech.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. And
that's
finally,
all for
the
right now.
Undertaker.
The Undertaker, or also known as Commandant Rex Pyroth. I'm as a solo guy, so I do the shooty bang bang. And hopefully this game is gonna get me back into creating that Deathwatch game.
Hell yeah. Alright, so real quick, just some general differences between this and our most popular TTRPG, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. If you guys will notice at the top, you'll see your initiative button and your health, a key thing in Cyberpunk Red, which is the version we're playing. HP is not a resource, as one scaly boy would say. HP is very hard to recover, and having to sit out in the hospital is gonna screw your team for sure. So unlike D&D, rushing in there is not only unwise, but it will most likely get you killed, unless that's part of your plan. Your stats, control a bunch of your sub skills, except for luck, which you can use like the lucky feat almost, except you just add points to any rolls you want to do especially well. Your move, which controls the amount you can move in combat. Body is your constitution, HP, and your empathy determines how much cyberware you can handle before you go cyber psycho. Your empathy informs your humanity score, which can be drained by traumatic events and cyberware. You'll see down below your derived stats of your seriously wounded threshold and your death saves. So you really don't want to be losing HP willy-nilly, where you start to have major combat drawbacks and roleplay drawbacks. You'll see underneath you have skills in a bunch of different categories. They do not cover everything. If you want to make a check that is not covered by a skill, you just roll you tell your DM, and they will have you roll the most appropriate just raw statistics, but obviously you get more points if it's a specific skill. And then you have your role, which is like your class, which you get to put points into different specialties for. Now, instead of XP, you get IP or improvement points, which you can spend to either get up in your roles to put more points, improve skills, or very importantly, buying new skills. There's a lot of stuff your character doesn't even start out with, such as martial arts, or if you just want to double down on things you're already good at. As well as you can just improve your raw statistics up to a point. You can see your critical injuries, and there's a whole section for addictions, so you know that it's a large part of this game. Down to your weapons, which use a basically a range static difficulty roll instead of rolling against a person's armor, and then the damage gets negated. We'll see some of that in combat. You have all your gear, your cash, and your ammunition. And yes, this is a very crunchy tactics game. You're going to be counting ammo. You're going to be making, called shots to different body parts and getting into that. It's going to be slower, smaller combat, but I think it's going to be more intense. Just with the way, you have to prep these sessions. You're really making, a whole building and encounter. You're not just kind of... D&D, sometimes you can get away with 10 goblins are in the forest, and this is just like, I gotta figure out where all the wirings hook up to, what doors are, mechanically locked versus electronic, what things could be traced back to you, if there's any factions that would be impacted. But it's a whole thing because it's smaller and more condensed. As we see you getting into our life path, you'll see that the way you dressed will allow you or disallow you to get into certain places. Obviously, the more roleplay, the more points you get at the end of the session, more improvement points, so that's very valued. You can start with friends, love affairs, enemies, and you guys will build up your reputation. And most importantly, the cyber and cyberpunk, you guys have implants. There's all sorts of crazy shit, and we've got some... expansions in red, but the main thing is take it slow, have a plan, and be ready to die and not revive. Death is very, very cheap in the far future. Any admin TTRPG questions before we just jump into some Night City shenanigans?
Oh, let's go to shenanigans.
All right, we're gonna get some Night City fucking music ass for this. Is this working? No.
It moved, the map definitely changed. Or
yes, the map changed. Remember when I did that one whole speech at the beginning of one of the D&D campaigns, and I hadn't changed the map, and you guys were just like, no, you were into your speech, we just let you keep going.
I do. Was that on the
was that Sins of Our Father? Because that's the only one I...
No, I was there for this one. And I want to say... It was either when we had the whole Dragonborn party kind of going on. What? I forget the name of that campaign. Or it was like our children of that campaign part was part of it. I can't remember which part of that campaign that was. We were all
like avian birds, I think, for that one. It was like we were in that time loop, right?
I was here for the Macedon one, North Macedon.
Yeah, we messed up. I messed up my intro speech having it on a black page instead of showing stuff. But anyway, not doing that today. You can all see the map of Night City. So, the world of Cyberpunk Red takes place in the far-off year of 2023. No, the main event kicked off there. If you've played the games or know any of the history, this is... after the Fourth Corporate War, and very soon after the bombing of Arasaka Tower with a pocket nuclear device by an unknown group. It is not known to the public what happened. Some people think it is Arasaka denying area and technology. Some people think it was a Militech inside job. Some people think a rogue terrorist organization called it. But in this far future in Night City, technology is cheap and life is cheaper. The governments and all public city services and pretty much aspects of everyone's life is run by these mega corporations, which are so strong that the world governments are pretty much a back burner. Even the poorest people on the street can afford what would today be technological miracle. Most people have some cybernetic implants. However, this does not improve their living standards. And even though you can afford cheap full arm replacements and stuff, most people in the city are surviving off of corporate produced kibble and living in like cube hotels or living the size of cargo containers, except of course for the executives of these corporations, which live lavish lifestyles beyond most people's wildest dreams. The city is divided into areas that are overpopulated, underpopulated war zones, corporate oases, nuclear wastelands, and pretty much everything in between. What else? Is there anything else someone would like to chime in about Cyberpunk from the books, from the show, or from the game that we should mention?
I can't remember if this is the time period where we're at, but is this like where it's after the old internet but before the new internet, right?
Yeah, the old internet is fucking toasted, and we're not at that Netrunner thing yet.
Yes, yeah. So the global internet was pocketized by some AI getting loose, and even after that, it gets even worse. During what's called the Time of the Red, due to the red-tinted sky from the Fourth Corporate War and all the nuclear fallout, even the local internet is dead. Netrunners who used to be able to sit, in their bathtubs or at a remote location and hack into corporations in Center City, now have to physically go to those buildings and jack in because the connection's just physically not there anymore. Most wireless connections are filled with black ice, which are basically programs that can kill netrunners in real life. So yes, things are not looking good for the internet. Night City is trying to build back what's called the data pool, which is a local connection just in the city, but it's still, in the middle of being rebuilt, contains, very little information, and not too big files can be sent over it. It doesn't have a lot of bandwidth. Comms are not hot, and there's not comm all over the place.
But I am El Commodore.
That's right. And so, our story with our 3 edge runners with their specific talents begins, if you guys want to zoom in, at CC05 at the south end of the Med Center, north of Old Japantown. Can I get a player to read me where you guys live?
Where was it? Where are we at again? Sorry.
I'll ping it right now.
It's literally like right above the Old Japantown.
Old Japan.
You'll see that you are flanked to the north by a irradiated nuclear wasteland of the old Center City and the violent, still active combat zones of the gang war, or the corporate war. Yes, can you see my precipice handout?
Yeah.
All right. Can I get someone to read, or you guys want to roll for it?
You know what? Let's start the gambling early, baby.
All right. I'm going to encourage this by saying the highest person gets to read, not the lowest person has to read. Roll a d10, because that is the standard dice. Undertaker, tell us about your guy's home.
Your home, Cargontator City number 5. The principal, landlord Patrick Brink, keeps this place running in all legal senses of the word and none of the ethical. Frequent power outages, sewer contamination, and rooms so small you'd think it was a cube hotel. However, you and your neighbors have a tight sense of community. When trouble comes knocking, the neighborhood handles it. You have a pretty tight crew on the first floor, and Brink consistently trades you all favors and rent credits and blatant HOA violations. You all may be stuck here together, but at least you're all stuck together. Or at least all stick together.
Hell yeah. All right, are you guys ready to see your new home?